fellow citizens of Southern Cameroon. Date for today na 14 March 2019. My name na Capo Daniel. This one is my daily podcast for now. When they talk say brrj, or man they talk say hey, they say brrj. Or man they join talk say hey. But when they talk say one time go. Now for day way you did know people were then lazy. Now for day way you did know one way you go push them. Now for day you go know one way they touch and they smile say hey hey. The biggest thing where the Kiwi, Southern Cameroonians, now pretenders. People the way they pretend to them if you do something only for fight position. When they take that position, they take and strong on top. They give people them false hope. Or we for succeed in Ambazonia, we need to keep aside this Igwe type of mentality where people carry names and titles and they have nothing to offer for the people. We need workaholic people who are volunteers to sacrifice their time and talents, competent people to mount positions. We have to stop the era where we write documents and agreements and it means nothing. Mr. Kumenta have demonstrated to the Ambazonia people gross misconduct and dereliction of duty. It is a big crime that you go to a convention and you sign resolutions, take responsibility, and you don't fulfill them. You come to the public, you make alterations, and you don't go through with them. In the conference in Philadelphia, Mr. Kumenta have to explain an embarrassing story that he did not even know that the interim government is paying for the reins of Samuel Sako, and he explained all this corruption and he was given a specific mandate with deadline and he has failed. Anybody who is incompetent in this struggle or in any institution in this struggle have to go. We have to stop that mentality of having people just for people's sake, titles for nothing. That is good for nothing to our suffering people. The vast majority of the new elite of the Ambazonia are in the diaspora and they are experiencing how developed country they succeed. It is by mediocrity, putting competent people to mount position. You don't just put people in positions for position's sake. We cannot be running from one country and going to create exactly a replica of La Republique. That has to stop. In any case, the most important thing today for this episode, for this podcast, is about the Fontem Neba conference, which is in America. As a civil liberty activist, I support the right of every Southern Cameroonians to gather and to organize themselves. But we need to understand, say, we not go allow any corny for inside this struggle because now the thing in that way the key people. Now only transparency, accountability will safeguard the interest of the people, and our job to hold the leaders accountable and to hold them to a transparent standard in front of our people. Them. We will make sure say sanity it could be for this struggle. Because in our stay last year we John Ba Okoro come out, he talk about the issue concerning this conference. I will let una hear exactly what John Ba Okoro be tell we about this conference and which way they talk am now.
The 7th day of the month of July in the year of our Lord 2018. On this day, I'm bringing to us the special and very important message, which will be a serious eye-opener. An eye-opener because this message is drawn from a letter addressed by Dr. Simon Munzul to the President of the Republic of Cameroon, Mr. Paul Biya, on the 11th of July, 2018. And you already understand that the conference that is supposed to bring together all Anglophones in quotes, I say Anglophones in quotes because that is how they called it within that document, which is purportedly called by the church in Southern Cameroon, is in fact a clear manipulation and a clear project of Dr. Simon Munzul in collaboration with the forces of repression, with the forces of oppression, with the manipulators from La République du Cameroun, and which to make it run down the throats of the people of Southern Cameroon because they know that we are so God-fearing, that we are very attached to our church, that we are very attached to our God, and so we respect our... And so yesterday, we had a letter from one member of government. That letter that I presented to everyone here. Today, we have this letter by Dr. Munzul, thanks to the collaboration of 3 of them this time. Yesterday, it was one member of government. Today, there are 3 of them. I had the opportunity to have a little teleconference with all 3 last night to be very sure that they were all involved, that their names are not just being called to me in vain. Dr. Munzul, definitely your letter is 7 pages. The first 2 pages are an explanatory note attached to the letter, and the letter itself is 5 pages long. You wrote it both in French and in English. And I have both versions with me here. I'm not going to read the entire letter here because it's going to take us crazy time. I'm just going to make an economy of this letter. And the good news is that these members of government have granted the consortium the authorization to have this letter retyped and published in word version, word verbatim. Give to every other source that wants to publish it so that Southern Cameroonians will read for themselves the motivations behind this action by Dr. Munzul and understand that we need to separate Dr. Munzul from the church and have business to do with Dr. Munzul and not with the church and not with the body of Christ, because the men of God who were brought into this thing were simply roped in without them knowing the details, the underpinnings of these things. And I'm sure and convinced that by the time the very venerated Christian Cardinal Toomey, I will just take excerpts of the main letter. 11 July 2018, His Excellency Mr. Paul Biya, President of the Republic of Cameroon, Unity Palace, Yaoundé, Your Excellency, I have the honor, most respectfully, to submit for your kind consideration the attached document. Dr. Simon Munzul, Advocate and Civil Society Leader, House 237-695-256-460. Email nupo@yahoo.co.uk. Dr. Munzul, I'm sure you're convinced now that it is actually your letter I have before. I said, I now get into the crux of the matter. So from that preamble, it's now clear to everyone that the objective of Dr. Munzul with this conference is not the interest of the people of Southern Cameroon and Bazonia. That is the objective. And when you look at the date on this letter, that's the 11th of July, and the date of the so-called convening of the All-General Anglophone Conference, of the Anglophone General Conference, as they call it, by, purportedly, by the church, which is the 25th of July, it tells you that it took just 2 weeks or less for Mr. Paul Biya and all his état-major to study this document, to speedily grant the request of Dr. Munzul, to speedily give him all the assistance, and to dispatch an armada of manipulators to join him, so that together they think of how to unpackage this to the public. And that is how, in the end, they told themselves that there is one Christian Cardinal Toomey there who has integrity, that let us hide behind the independent, so-called independent civil society personalities to have this evil pill pushed down the throats of the people. That's how they now push Dr. Munzul, go and get these people, put them together, and tell them stories, which he did. And in the end, they thoroughly signed it and say it is the church. They quote it as if being the church convening this conference, and then it is the church now that is appointing Dr. Munzul. Oh, wow. How preposterous.
So, country people, when I don't hear her, John Bakuro, Yusuf talk, he put them on equivocally. Read out Simon Munzul, a phone number and email we did for that document. This document where he initiate this process for this conference where Cardinal Toomey and Ellis meet them, they do them now. It was generated by Simon Munzul, and it is not for the independence, it is not for our interest as John Bakuro talk. In any case, I will play now with the way John Bakuro and the other people where they go meet up Fontem Neba, where they want to hold a conference where they do enough for America. Mona here before I go talk my own no corny talk on top before thing they go high they go. Una take una ear, una listen.
Working on this conference, we've got Comrade Sako, we've got Comrade John Bakuro, Comrade Elvis Kumenta, Comrade Ebenezer Akwanga from APLM is involved. Obviously, we are the start group. We are expanding this immediately to other groups. We're inviting our brothers and sisters to join in to be part of this conference. It's a major event where we are pulling our people together. Let me go to my comrades here, one after the other. Let me start with the whole organization, SCNC. Elvis Kumenta, please, a word about this conference.
Well, we know what's going on back home in southern Cameroon, the bloodshed, so we are calling on all our brothers and sisters to come out so that we meet and make sure that we talk like one person, one people, one voice, and again.
From the oldest organization to the youngest one, the consortium, John Barakuru.
Well, I'd like to tell the people of southern Cameroon that this will be another very important defining moment in our struggle. And we believe that as southern Cameroonians, we should begin to talk among ourselves. We should be able to settle down together, tell the rest of the world how we think that sustainable solution can be reached in the current conflict which beats us. To be able to set up a system that enables us to work once more as the brothers and sisters that we are, to deliver to our people the fastest possible.
Comrade Akwanga of the APLM.
Yes, the African People's Liberation Movement will be part of the All-Southern Cameroon Conference, which will be holding.
Please join us. Let me turn it over now to Comrade Sako Ikome.
Thank you very much. This is Amazonia. Despite all the noise on social media, we have been a people with a focus.
Well, my mommy them, my papa them, my sister them, my brother them. Na kapo Daniel this. My own wife do na for be a vanguard for the revolution. For show na waiting day for shine na eye mona siam. At the end of the day, na the people they decide. Wa owner for picking guard them for whole all man for accountability. All man get right for shidong, but we'll get for protect ourselves against corny and manipulation. John Bakoro Bidan talks at this conference come up for the Republic. For me, I'm a position I say this conference, because of the presence of the diplomats who are there, we should have sent activists to go there and register our protest, to register our rejection of any form of dialogue that does not involve a third party, to reinstate, to reinforce what we have been demanding all along. People have the right to do what they want to do. We cannot stop them, but my own is to expose it to people to understand what is going on and make their decisions. Everything that is done under darkness, we have to expose it. John Bakoro, all the leaders should come to the Ambazonian people and explain to them how their justification, their aim of their rationale, and he should not forget that we are now a different generation. We have minds. We can actually think and remember what people say. At the end of the day, we are savers of the people. Say we are saving the people. It is all about you, Ambazonian, what you decide. It is about your will, how resistant you are. Make sure you don't compromise your demand. As Barack Obama once said, for real change should come, for freedom to come, the people must make their demand so clear that it will be impossible for the elites to manipulate or misrepresent them. And Paul Biya's job is to kill and maim and torture you and discourage you so much until you give up your demand for independence. But I'm convinced that if we keep on holding on to our natural right, we are going to have a breakthrough. The slavery did not stop because the slave could win the war. It stopped because their enslavers could not hold them forever without destroying their own very soul. Paul Biya will end up in jail if he continues what he is doing. And eventually everything has its limit. La République du Cameroon will reach its limit. The international community is listening to us now. We have countries that support us. I want to highlight an interview I conducted, a conversation I had with Dr. Nicolas Santos, and give you some small revelation about what is going on. The meeting that has been taking place between La République du Cameroon and Samuel Sako. My prayer, and I say me, what people they not stop me, then start to think, me they not get a blockhead because you get agents for La République. Paid agents, as Santos will reveal, and a lot more he is going to reveal on Saturday. So please stay tuned and follow him on Facebook and listen to what he has to say. For the meantime, let me give you an excerpt of what he said to me and so that you can be aware and you listen to more directly from him. Listen.
Yes, nobody know. Nobody know.
Was it in the United States?
But all these meetings are taking place. Let me tell you about a meeting. A meeting must not be physical.
Okay.
But me and you the meeting now. We are meeting now.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we done meeting?
We are. Yeah. Cyberspace is for real. Exactly.
Sako is on payroll of La République du Cameroon. Sako is on payroll. That's why the people in jail have released a letter. I'm telling us that nothing short of independence should stop us. I told them. That's how they come to Barrack, they receive them, and they say, okay, they got it. No, Western, they give money because Rockefeller is become the CPTM. City. That's Ayim's language. Ayim wants to cover tracks. Ayim has been playing this game. That money is money for public relations. Public relations means what Eric Tato is doing, what Mark Barretta is doing. That's why they call me also to come and take my own money. I refuse. You know that, right?
Fellow Ambazonians, that is what is going on. And we have paid agents, paid activists who are there to blindfold you people and draw you into the abyss. For no matter what we say, people don't still get it. But we hope this is a God-given revolution, as our national anthem says, the Most High God being the watchman of this nation. That is why we are able to uncover these things, and that is why we are here to shine your eyes. So follow Dr. Santos on Saturday. Listen to his live show for more direct revolutions. We are going to be there to ask questions for you and pull out what you need to know. So for just do a short wrap up, another year for the audio, John Bakoro Bidan tell we very clearly how that conference for somewhere for Cardinal Tumi Eli Smith na Paul Biya he thing where they don't take and they disguise some. So if what is going on, everybody, if they have good intention, they should not be hiding it. They should come to the public and explain what have changed, what is the whole thinking behind it, because we know that darkness is what the devil works only in darkness. Our leaders should be accountable to us and speak to us directly. And from what John Bakoro said about the meeting they had with Saku and Niba Fontem, they are planning, their agenda is to set up a system to represent us. Whatever that means, I think you can go back and you play the audio. I don't need to play it for everybody to hear. But we cannot turn back. We have to keep our guard. And we have to pursue the path that are before us today that are more clearer than ever. God bless you guys. God bless our nation. God protect us. And God, I believe, is the author, and He's going to be the finisher of this struggle. This struggle for me is an answer of many prayers of people who have been suffering in the southern Cameroons. And God is going to deliver us and give us a sustainable freedom. A homeland where no generation shall face the humiliation we are facing today. The Egyptians we see today, we shall see them no more. God bless you.